Welcome back. It is Wednesday, January 1st in the NBA. My best bets are on the way. Yes, we are in 2025. Happy New Year. I hope you guys had a great New Year's Eve. Hopefully you stayed safe. Hopefully you had a great time. But either way, if you are new, my name's Austin. Yes, I'm still under the weather. Been the same case since Christmas. But hey, we're going to keep pushing on. And as always, we'll dive into a recap of how we did the final day of 2024. Unfortunately, a losing day for us, a 1-2 day, down a little over a half unit. We had Austin Reeves over 5.5 assists. That will probably be the last time we get a 5.5 line for him, as he had 10 assists. I think that was plus 900. If you wanted to take it, I told you it was a good sprinkle. It cashed. Jaden McDaniels over 8.5 points. He did not come through. He had 2 3-pointers at the end of the game that did not fall. Would have cashed the line for us, with, I think, 7 points. And the Pacers, plus 1.5, what decided our winning or losing day. They blew a 19-point second half lead. Not much you can do there. In fact, you see on the screen, our last 16 days to close December in the NBA, 14 winning days, 2 losing days. The 2 losing days, obviously yesterday we had the Heat blowing the Pacers blowing 19-point lead. The other losing day would have been a winning day if the Miami Heat did not blow a 22-point second half lead. So, heck, we've been pretty dialed in over the last 2 weeks plus. Hopefully we can start 2025 with hopefully more of that consistency, just winning you guys some money. Now, my favorite part of the first video of the year, January 1st, is we get to do a little bit of a recap of how we did last year, talk about calling our shot and all things like that. It's a fun little celebration, and then we dive into the picks. So obviously, if you want to jump forward, you can. I really think the information we're about to talk about is pretty cool, pretty fun, exciting. I encourage you to tap in and just sit back, relax, and celebrate calling our shot. If this is your first ever video, do me a favor, go down below, subscribe. Also, drop a like too. It's 2025, baby. Let's make it a great year. Now, I always begin looking at how we did in terms of just views, like how much support and love you guys shown throughout the year was insane, and we certainly appreciate it. On the year, you look at nearly 10 million views across all the videos, shorts, long form videos, and all that. Hey, we appreciate you so much. In terms of watch hours, you guys watched Logan or myself talk about sports. 618,000 watch hours converted to minutes, 37 million minutes. Insanity. Look, we appreciate all you guys for tuning in every single day. Like Logan and I say all the time, we couldn't do it without you. So anyone that's ever been here, if this is your first video, thank you. This is your 1,000th video. We appreciate you. Thank you again for being a part of the community for so long. In terms of new followers, new subscribers, 17,000. So hey, we certainly will take it. As long as that number keeps going up, we'll take it. Heck, if it even stays the same. We crossed 200,000 subscribers this year. Well, in 2024, big goals for 2025. Let's make it an even bigger year. Again, thank you to everyone that has watched, viewed, liked, shared the video with a friend. We thank you. Now we need to dive into how we did betting wise. And I'm going to be honest, it's kind of embarrassing numbers, not great for us. MLB, we barely broke even. We barely made it positive. I could go on and on about how bad the season was for us. I was traveling a good amount. Logan was not, he was pretty unlucky for all of his picks. You can blame unluckiness, some bad reads in there. Just not a great year for us compared to where we had been the last few years betting baseball. Pretty bad year for us. NBA, been pretty status quo. Not our greatest year last year. Already up to 25 units this year in the NBA. Hopefully we can have a pretty good second half of the season. In terms of NFL, though, hasn't been great. So MLB and NFL, not honestly a good year for us. On combining all 3 sports plus almost 35 units, is it good to be positive in every single sport? Yes. That's something that a lot of people can say. But again, not where we expect to be, especially when you look at how we've done the last 3 years. 2022, we were up nearly 150 units. 2023, 77. And last year, 34. So obviously going down, we need to right the wrong and figure it out and turn things around. We obviously have proven it before. Last year, I could make some excuses. I was pretty busy. I was traveling a ton, taking some once-in-a-lifetime trips. I had my honeymoon, which was nearly a month long. I had a trip with my parents, which was just a once-in-a-lifetime trip with them for a couple weeks. So again, maybe I wasn't as locked in as I need to be, and I'm pretty locked in coming into this year. I have no travel plans except for one short thing, and that's even between the Super Bowl. So I'm going to be locked in for you guys. Try to make, hopefully, that 2022, get back to that. If you have been tailing us the last 3 years on $100 better, is up nearly over $25,000. So pretty good. Again, I know last year wasn't great for us betting wise. Still, we're profitable in all the 3 major sports we cover. But again, we need to be better than that. And I think we will. So, hey, let's lock in. Let's have a great end of the NFL season, which is one more week in the regular season than the playoffs. And let's have a dominant end to the NBA season. Heck, we got a lot more NBA basketball, 6+ months left to go into. We're going to have a monster year. Let's have a great 2025. Cheers, everyone. Let's have a year. again, appreciate you guys for tuning in for this longer intro. I always think it's kind of cool to go back and look at the previous years or all the numbers and things like that. Let's have a great 2025. I want to be putting my all into it. Sure, I don't sound great, but hey, I'm putting in all the work behind the scenes to hopefully deliver you guys some winners. But it starts cashing our first 3 NBA picks of the year. A reminder, our college football video is already live. It was posted yesterday at 12 p.m. Eastern time. If you missed out, I apologize. You missed the first playoff game. Logan and I both went 1-0. I'm on a 36-10 college football run. Again, I say this video is live at 12 p.m. It's already live. Go check it out. It will be posted. It was the last video we just posted. So go check that video out for our favorite picks in the college football playoff games. But without further ado, let's dive into today's picks to begin the NBA January 1st. First pick, Jalen Johnson over 19.5 points, minus 125 on BetMGM. Now, Jalen Johnson is one guy I do have an NBA future on, him to win most improved player. He's currently tied for the best odds, I think, with Tyler Hero, if I'm not mistaken. So, hey, let's have a big 2025 Jalen Johnson. I really like his over in points tonight. Now, if you're just looking at this game from a vacuum perspective, if we're looking at game against the Nuggets in Denver and over under 246. Yeah, 246 points. So a lot of points are expected. A very fast-paced game, which should bode well for us given how Jalen Johnson scores. Now, obviously, we're going back to our trusty friends, Props Madness. Now, you look at Jalen Johnson on the year in terms of 19.5 points. He is over an 18 of 30. If you go up just 1 point, though, he has ended on 20 points 5 different times. So key to get that number of 20. So take a 20-plus points if you have to. Maybe tack on a couple of rebounds for Jalen Johnson. He's normally a pretty reliable rebounder. In fact, you look at him, I don't know, how many games does he not have 6 rebounds in? Only 4. So he's normally a pretty reliable rebounder. But I only want points to 19.5. Now, if you look at how he scores, like I said, fast-paced game, we have an over-under at 246. So we're looking at a guy that scores. The number one primary scoring method is in transition, where the Nuggets rank 21st. And then you look at spot-up shooting, 20%. They rank 27th there. Now, he is not the best shooter. I'm not going to come out here and say Jalen Johnson is a great shooter, but I love this spot for him. And look at how he scores his points and where he scores his points. 71% are in the paint. Now, if you look at the Nuggets, if you go up here, Nuggets, points in the paint allowed 26. So one of the worst defenses in the league. Obviously, they don't have a lot of rim protection in the paint. Non-restricted area, 28th. Restricted area, 16th. They are not a very good paint defense. I mean, not a very good defense in general. A lot of green here. I think about this, what he does, Jalen Johnson, very well, get to the hoop and score. And we look at when he faces, teams that maybe aren't the greatest at defending points in the paint. Sorry, trying to get to the right. Points in the paint allowed. We face like bottom 15 teams, over in 9 of 15, averaging 21 a game. I think it's a great spot to back his over in points. So my first pick of the day, Jalen Johnson, over 19.5 points. You can do points plus assists. I'm not going to count on that. This one, I'm going to put the ball in the basket. I believe they will be down Bogdan Bogdanovic. I'm not too worried about it. I love that over for Jalen Johnson at 20.5, though. Like I said, he loves to end on 20 points, so be a little bit skeptical there. My second pick is going to be an under, and this one might be uncomfortable, but we got to do it. Also, I meant to note, if you took a live bet on my over 0.5 ear infections, cash that. We have an ear infection over here, and I don't know what the hell's going on here. Probably an ear infection there. They said no, but I don't buy it. Either way, let's move on. Congrats on cashing those tickets. Meet you at the counter. Domantas Sabonis under 15.5 rebounds, minus 135 on DraftKings. Now, yeah, this is a real line, 15.5 rebounds for Mr. Sabonis. I know he's been pretty good recently, and you look at minus 135, a couple books at 14.5. I still would play 14.5. I obviously like the 15.5, getting an extra rebound in there, but I think if he goes under, he probably goes under both. Now, obviously, if you've been looking at Sabonis, he's been pretty good recently. He's over this line in 3 of his last 4, 19, 21, 12, and 16 rebounds. He's been a beast. And obviously, they just fired their head coach, but I'm not too concerned about that. And what I'm concerned about is him grabbing some boards tonight. Now, these matchups, Lakers, Pacers, Lakers again, and then you had the Mavericks. Hey, tip your cap to him. But on the season, I mean, he's under in majority of games. 22 of 30 games he was under. So he's under in a good amount of games. If you're looking at teams and rebounds allowed, you look at this Sixers team, 12th in rebounds allowed. They are, as you see down there, 29th in pace. If you go to here, we're looking at a team that is 3rd slowest pace in the NBA. Now, if you're looking at the Sixers, their depth chart, Joel Embiid is officially out. He is out with rest. Andre Drummond, this says out. He is currently questionable. KJ Martin, I don't know about him. What I do know is if let's say Joel Embiid's out officially. So coming to the center position is either Andre Drummond, one of the best rebounders of all time. So he will, I mean, you could like it or not, he's one of the most efficient rebounders of all time. He is a very good defensive rebounder. So Sabonis offensive rebounds, not feel great about him getting those. And on the offensive side, Drummond doesn't do a whole lot, but he's going to fight for offensive rebounds. So Sabonis will have to work down there. Maybe he'll just be boxing out and let other guys clear those defensive possessions. Now, if Drummond doesn't play, we will go down in size, but we'll get a guy in Gershon Yabusele who is a stretch big. We see him shooting 39% from three. So again, I think there's a couple different routes here where if Drummond plays, not a good matchup because he's going to have to box him out. Drummond, one of the better rebounders. If he does not play Drummond, that is, we're going to get a guy that stretches the floor, and we're going to have to see not Andre Drummond, Domantas Sabonis have to be taken back out of the paint and forced to go defend a three-point shooter. So taking him away from rebounding. At the end of the day, 15 and a half rebounds. I'll take it any day of the week. I don't care who you are. You're not prime Kevin Love when he was absolutely grubbing with the Timberwolves. So again, I'll take a stab at Domantas Sabonis under 15 and a half rebounds. I think the line's too high. It should be 13 and a half. Putting anyone up to 14, 15 and a half. Hey, you need a lot of things to go your way. If it does, hey, congrats, Sabonis. Congrats on grabbing 17 boards. But again, a blowout. If he gets into foul trouble, if the Sixers just are turning it over or making their shots, it's going to be a really tough spot for a slower paced Sixers team. Not a lot of rebounds out there. I really like the under 15 and a half rebounds for Sabonis. I'd still take it at 14 and a half, maybe not a full unit, maybe a three-quarter unit play there. Then my final play of the day, and I hate this guy, I hate this team. Bam Adebayo to record a double-double, -130 on FanDuel. Now, depending on what book you're on, you might get better odds by playing up for 10 points and 10 rebounds. That's the more realistic outcome for Bam. It's unlikely that he gets 10 assists. He can, unlikely, but he could get 10 assists, 10 blocks, 10 steals, probably pretty unlikely in those two. But I like Bam to grab 10 boards and score 10 points. And I love this matchup for him as he is, I believe, back at home, and he's going to be taking on the New Orleans Pelicans. Now, obviously, we need to talk about the elephant in the room, and that is going to be the return of Jimmy Butler. So I have Jimmy Butler marked as in here. Jimmy obviously has been a little bit weird here, but Jimmy does appear to be playing. He's been ruled active. And we look at Bam's. Let's look at his points first. We need 10 points from him. Been pretty consistent with Jimmy Butler in there. First game against the Magic, not great. A couple bad games in here, got like against the Sixers, 2 for 8, or against the Hornets here, 3 for 8. But pretty consistent getting us 10 points, which if we're going to lose, I don't want it to be points. Points will piss me off if it's points. And I think he's able to score against this team. Sure, they're not necessarily the best team against pick and roll and blah, blah, blah. But look at where he scores his points, all in the paint. This is a team that has struggled in the restricted area. You look at this points in the paint allowed, second worst. So look, if he's going to score, he's going to be scoring in the paint. I think he gets some open opportunities with a lot of more defensive focus on Hero, Jimmy Butler. I think he's a great matchup against Messi, the rookie. I think Bam can get us 10 points. Or help me God. Then we move to the rebounds, which is obviously we're looking at Bam. You look at his rebound line. His rebound line is going to be sitting at 10 and a half. The 10 plus rebounds is sitting at about -150. So I don't mind taking the 10 plus. That's a little bit more juice than I like to play at -150. But again, I like the 10 plus because you look at 10 and a half over a 9 of 20 with Jimmy Butler active. You drop it down just one rebound over in 14 of 20. So been a pretty reliable rebounder here. A lot of finishes with 10 on the dot. Some bad games in here like this one against Jokic, this one against the Pistons, a team that don't give up a lot of rebounds. The list goes on and on and on. We look at this matchup, though, against this Pelicans team. Rebounds allowed, 26th. A really bad rebounding team. In fact, against centers, the most rebounds per game allowed to centers. So really bad. You look at centers against them that have played 20 or more minutes. I just wanted to isolate guys that play. Zubac just had 20 and 16 against them. Jaren Jackson Jr. is afraid to grab rebounds. Edey had 14 and 9, missed by 1. Şengün 10 and 13. Nikola Jokic 27 and 13. Cat only 11 and 10. A lot of these guys, 20 rebounds here for Sabonis, 17 here for Capella, 19 for Karl Anthony Towns. So a lot of big rebounding games for big time centers. And I just don't know how engaged a lot of these rebounders for the Heat will be. The Pelicans do miss a lot of shots at DeJounte Murray. I think it's a great rebounding spot for him on the offensive glass if he wants to be aggressive there. I also think he can score points. I like him to get 10 points and 10 boards. So I like this at -130. A little bit more juice than I will be playing on normally all the picks on today's card. But again, a lot of teams in there that I really don't like. And I kind of can go through all the other games here real quick. If we're going to talk about let's just scroll through this. Like Chicago and Washington, this is just I don't like any of these teams. I'm going to be honest. I hate these teams. Kuzma's back for Washington, Chicago. I hate that team. If you're talking about the next game, Orlando, Detroit, I looked at Cade's over in points, just given how the Magic play defense, forcing your big time ball handlers to be aggressive. It's kind of what Cade does. I was hoping to secure a 22.5 line. It bumped to 23.5. I don't want to go there. His head-to-head numbers are not good against them. Granted, their defense is worse this year in terms of pick and roll ball handler than it was last year. But again, I don't really want to get involved there. Utah versus the Knicks. Jalen Brunson is listed questionable here. So in turn, every single Knicks player here is getting an inflated line. So can't do much there. Big spread. I don't really want to trust any Jazz guys. So I avoided there. Brooklyn, Toronto. Let's not do that. Who knows what D'Lo is going to be playing? Scotty Barnes, I don't mind his over in points, but not a terrific matchup for him, given he's a ball handler big time. So maybe he's over in assists if you want to get crazy. Dallas versus Houston. Another team, Dallas, dealing with a bunch of injuries here. Kyrie's back, but again, Houston, not a team I really like betting on. And then I already talked about the other games. So hopefully you understand the 3 picks you see at the bottom of the screen. Jalen Johnson over in points at -125. Sabonis under in rebounds at -135. And Bam's a double-double at -130. More juice than I normally lay on a card. But again, not my favorite slate year to begin 2025. So we'll try to go 3-0, move on, cash 3-0, make another winning day, and get on out of here and move to a better slate, hopefully, for tomorrow's slate of action. So again, appreciate you guys for tuning in on the first video of 2025. Thank you again for all the love you showed in 2024. Let's make 2025 our best betting year yet. I don't know if we can beat 147 units, but I know we certainly are capable. Just starts with a great NBA close to this season, a great MLB season, and a great NFL season as well. You guys have a great day. Good luck on all your bets in 2025. Drop a like for good luck in 2025. I'll see you guys back again in the next one. So hope we cash these 3 picks and move on to Thursday's slate of action. Again, college football video linked right here. Have a great day, and I'll see you guys back again in the next one on tomorrow's slate. Peace.